When I became aware that COVID was going to be an issue, we took a look at things as a team and said, you know, we've been around since 1904. We've lived through the Depression and 2 world wars and other pandemics. We're not going to let one virus stop us. So we were closed for 2 days. And in those 2 days, we completely revamped our entire process to be able to give people food. Because of the pandemic, we had to change our programs in 3 very essential ways. The first is we couldn't allow our Vincentians to be out in public when there was a stay-at-home order. So we had to cancel all of our home visits for 2 months. And then with our walk-in pantry, again, we had to be really cognizant of making sure that we were protecting our people as well as our clients. And so we shifted from our walk-through pantry to a drive-up pantry outside for several months. The second way we really changed was in our financial assistance. We used to have people come in and sign up here at the St. Vincent de Paul Center and then get appointments. And we went to a completely online system, which required a lot of changes. We had to completely revamp our client database so that our people who were working at home could access the client records that they need. That was a big part of it. And the third really was with the ERA grants from the city and the county and other places. We found that people who were affected by COVID had a much greater financial need than we initially thought. And we needed to devote more resources to that immediately.
I never worried when Ann called to say, COVID is shutting everything down, we're having to shut the pantry, we're going to move to a different model, because I thought if any team can do this, it's this team. They're a small group, they're imaginative, they're nimble, they're used to solving problems quickly and doing whatever it takes to get the job done. They're deeply compassionate, and that combination of things meant that whatever ideas they came up with were going to be executed beautifully, and in fact, that's exactly what happened. So the first day that we offered the drive-up pantry, to be honest, was really exciting because everything else in town was shut down. Even the food bank was shut down. And so when the word went out that you were going to be able to drive up and get food and other supplies from the St. Vincent de Paul Society, we figured we would get a lot of people, and we did. It was so well organized, and a lot of people that couldn't volunteer otherwise were able to come in and pack boxes, pack bags, take boxes and bags from the pantry out to the team. We had people that were outside doing information intake, and it really ran like a well-oiled machine from start to finish.
Well, I mean, you know, you think about it. We get an announcement that the county's going to receive $8.1 million in funding. And we're supposed to take that funding and distribute it to people who need rental assistance. Great. How do we do that? We don't have the capacity to do that. We don't know what we're doing. So right away, we reached out to folks who did know what they were doing. People that are out there on the front lines, helping folks on a daily basis. St. Vincent de Paul came to mind right away. You know, we know the work that you all have been doing here. We know that you have a track record of helping tens of thousands of people already before that. So we reached out to St. Vincent de Paul for help. Thank God you responded in a positive, enthusiastic way to help us take care of those who are most in need. So yeah, we are extremely grateful for what you've done.
I'm a mom of 5, 6, 5, 4, 2, and 4 months. So my life is kind of busy. Job searching is a big thing in my daily life right now, trying to get back into the workforce after having a baby. And so I actually received a flyer in the mail from St. Vincent de Paul saying they had emergency rental services. And I was in my 7th month of pregnancy. I was on bed rest, I was having a lot of issues, and I couldn't work. So I went online, clicked on the link, filled out the application, and like maybe 3 or 4 days later, I got a call, and she's like, well, you know, we're able to help you. Like, she's like, do you need help with your rent? And I'm like, yes. She's like, well, we can help with utilities too. And I'm like, wow, okay, even better. And she's like, do you need food? Because we have food boxes as well. And I'm like, okay. She's like, and we'll bring it to you since, you know, you're on bed rest. You don't have to come outside. And I'm like, thank you. So like, it gave me that cushion. Like, I was scared that I was gonna get evicted or I wasn't gonna have, you know, my lights were gonna get shut off. And it literally gave me that cushion for 3 months to not have to worry about any of those things. I could focus on my health and having a baby and taking care of the other ones, because they literally took care of the biggest 4 stresses in my life at that time. Without St. Vincent de Paul's help, I probably would have got evicted and either had to utilize the women's shelter or the homeless center or stay with a family member, because I didn't have any other options at the time.
I think it's really a testament to our staff and to our Vincentians that we were selected by the city and by the county to administer the COVID grants for rent and utility assistance. These grants are super important to our community because they're keeping people in their homes and they're keeping people, back on their feet and out of poverty, which is ultimately our goal as an organization.
I have 2 kids, 17 and 14, and I have my nephew that's 9 of my deceased brother. St. Vincent helped me with the emergency rental assistance program when I got COVID this year. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't get paid from work. I didn't have the funds. I was trying to figure out different ways of how can I get the assistance that I need we just moved into this place and now I get COVID a month later, and they helped me a lot. They gave me the funding that needed to get me back together. I don't know what I would have did without the help from COVID. I probably would have been moving out of a home that I just moved in.
Of course, I would trust St. Vincent de Paul. St. Vincent de Paul played a huge role in St. Joe County's ability to reach out to these people. And without them, I don't know what we would have done, quite frankly. It is very clear to me, after what we've gone through these last several months, that this community can count on St. Vincent de Paul Society.
Our community will always be able to count on the St. Vincent de Paul Society.
I know if I ever need help, I can go to St. Vincent de Paul. They've never let me down on the help that I needed.
I know I can always count on St. Vincent de Paul.
The St. Vincent de Paul Society will always be here for our community.